And I know I'm belaboring this, spending a lot of time, but it's a big issue. And so the state tries to pass a law saying that schools can spank children because it's out of control. And because parents are saying, I can't spank, so why are you? You can spank, you idiots. So they pass a law saying now the parents have to give the approval. The parents give the approval when you put them in that school. If you don't like what's going on in the school, you shouldn't put them there. Do you understand that's common law? When you turn custody of a minor who does not have the rights of an adult and is not a sovereign, that's why they don't get as big of prison sentences, because the courts and common sense and common law says they don't know any better. Who is liable? Their guardian. Whether it's a police officer or a school teacher or the parent. And you are the final guardian of your children. You are the executor. You are the trust holder. And so they told you, don't tell your kids what to do. Let them be themselves. Dr. Spock and all that stuff. Best-selling author, sold more than the Bible for 10 years. Back in the 60s. They said, let your children be themselves. Oh, really? Who are you? You are the instincts and culture of survival passed on for tens of thousands of years by your ancestors, and everything they passed down to you, and they're saying, don't pass anything on. Let the television pass it on. Let the school pass it on. Let the system pass it on. Don't tell your children what to think or what to do or any lessons you've learned. Let them be themselves. Turn them loose. Don't discipline them. Treat them like they're an adult. Let children sue their parents. And that's so the state and the social engineers can come in and take control of your children. It's that simple. It's very elementary. And some children don't need to be disciplined. Others do. The point is, now they think they passed a law letting schools spank children, and instead it just restricted common law. Just like they were saying, we're going to pass a law that TSA can't grab your genitals. It's already on the books. That's why a cop can't do it without a warrant. That's why an FBI agent can't do it. It's why they never have done it. They just set up a new body, tell them they can do it, get you in a herded group psychology system like an airport, and more. That's a social engineering laboratory, and the system admits it. So the state then finally takes our good bill, saying we're going to enforce the law, but it was never needed to begin with. Just enforce the law. These lawmakers think that everything they need isn't already there, so they always just pass something new. And because they're not sophisticated, Rick Perry comes in and has it changed to say, okay, all police now can stick their hands down your pants without a warrant. And then we said, we now have to remove support for this bill. See, it's all hoaxes and bait and switches and shell games and scams. Now, it gets worse. In thousands of school districts, last time I checked, it was the majority. And there's 20-something thousand school districts plus in the country. But in a large portion of them, first it's no dodgeball. Then it's no tag. Then it's no wrestling. Then at many schools, you can pull this up, schools ban jogging at recess. Schools ban shaking hands at recess. And now the teacher's not allowed to touch him or talk to him. Oh, Billy just shook hands with Bobby. I'm going to call the police. And the cop shows up and writes you a ticket. So they're taking all authority away from the people and the common law, then the teachers, and now a new phenomenon. They're going to begin taking, this is the UN model, the authority away from the police and transferring it only to special paramilitary units, which are federally controlled. Oh, yes, this is next. It's what they're attempting. And so the cops can't do anything either under their common law, citizen's arrest, citizen's power of self-defense, and to stop crime. That's what police operate under. We just create cities, incorporate them, and then vote and hire representatives to handle it for us because we're busy. But pretty soon they try to become the boss. So that's how they're taking the power from the states, the counties, everybody. That's how this movement of power towards a centralized system. And take the big psychiatric boards all coming out and saying we're against any form of discipline, any form of corporal punishment. Even now they're saying take kids if you yell at them. Well, notice they're the groups that want to get your kid once they're out of control and put them on mind-altering drugs, Ritalin, Prozac, things that cause all sorts of health problems and heart attacks. I mean, suicides. It's a cult of power and control taking over. And remember, they're taking children every day because somebody saw them being spanked in their backyard. You know, Billy hits Jenny, bloodies her nose. Dad goes, that's it, Junior, you little... CPS is a-coming. And they take you into a fake court where it's just a judge, not a jury. You don't know it goes back to a eugenics court that used to sterilize people that Hitler got his model from. And they take your child away into the system where they're 5 times more likely to be abused than in any other place. How are they arresting people for filming police in public? A big court just struck it down again today. Cops aren't going to stop arresting you for that. They've been told, go ahead and do it. We're just going to do it. We don't care. How do they take children when you don't inoculate them? Happens all the time. Because they get ignorant parents that get in there scared with the judge and go, I thought I didn't have to. The judge goes, I'm taking them forever unless you sign this order admitting that you've been derelict. And then they let you have your kids for about a week or maybe a month and then claim you violated that agreement. They get you to contract out your rights. So they've got all this figured out. It's all fraud. It's all bamboozling. So I hear these adults calling into the radio saying, how's the government spank you, but parents can't? Parents, you don't know your rights. You don't know the law. You need to learn it or pay.
If you drive.
Okay, we are back live, and I have just digressed off into the issue of corporal punishment. But this is an issue that I don't know anybody else is discussing, and that's the fact that the globalist system is for the hoax, by the hoax, of the hoax. It's all about fraud. Just like they created 100 years ago now, these fake family courts that are outside the Constitution Bill of Rights. They created the World Trade Organization in 1995 that our Congress assigned its authority over to. They created the UN in 1945, 46, officially. Now, it orders Obama to launch a war. He does. Congress says, hey, you're not supposed to do that. And he says, I'll do whatever I want. It's about power grabs. And then it's a hoax that they have the right or the authority to do this. It's like Rick Perry 4 years ago said, it's the law. All girls in Texas will take this shot, 12 and under. I am the governor. It is the law. And women lined up everywhere, paid almost $500 for the 3 shots, and said the governor says it's the law. Kind of like I had the state attorney on, I don't know, 4 years ago. It was all over the national news. You probably remember it. And it showed in Maryland, in Baltimore, the school, and quote, 2,000 parents and students lined up with police dogs barking, riot police, and it was judge orders parents to inoculate children. And I got the state attorney on, and I said, sir, you know, here's your code. There's no law to take these shots. I said, so you know this was basically all just a hoax. And he laughed and said, yeah, you're right. And he said, I don't vaccinate my kids. But he was there overseeing it. He started laughing like it's funny or something. I've seen the police on the news all over the country where they arrest people for filming them in public. And then when it gets struck down in court later, or the person even goes to jail, people say, but this isn't against the law. And they just laugh about it. It's like, hey, we just sent some innocent people to jail. Hey, we just got up here and lied to people and said, and CNN was up there saying, it's the law. Judge orders shots in Maryland, starting in Baltimore. 1,500 students and their parents, over 2,000 people. And it was crying parents, I don't like the shots. I think they make my kids sick, but I got to be here. It was mainly inner city people who the system preys on. And I'd play the clips, and I had guests on, and I was on air, and I got some of the parents on. I'd say, you don't have to take it. I know, Mr. Jones, but they say they're coming to arrest me. And I said, no. The school is going to kick your child out for truancy. And they're like, yes, that's what they say. Then they're going to trigger a law for that. But they can't order you out of school for not taking a shot when it's not the law. It's only their policy. And they'd go, so they're lying? Yes, there's a waiver in their desk at the nurse's office. You've got to demand it. But it's not a law. I know. You don't have to do that. But if you want to just prove to yourself, and somebody would call back and say, they gave me the waiver. They got mad, but first they lied. Yes, they lie. They lie. They lie. They take baby's blood at birth for almost 40 years worldwide, except a few countries that globalists don't control, and tell you it's for a blood test. When it's not, it goes in a DNA database. That's now admitted. You know, I said I'd make this announcement about prisonplanet.tv, but I'll just do it later in the next hour. We will be live tonight at prisonplanet.tv, 7 o'clock, and live tomorrow night. We're off Monday, but every weeknight, 7 o'clock. Most nights it'll be 30 minutes. Other nights it'll be an expanded special report, sometimes several hours long, sometimes taped, sometimes live. But it's all coming up, and I've got some important announcements about some new functions and features at prisonplanet.tv. Stay with us.